again to Real Shame, a show where we talk about our list of movie blind spots. My name is Andy.
And I'm Adam.
And on Monday's episode, we talked about the Michael Mann film from 1992, The Last of the Mohicans. Adam, you paired that with another last movie, Last Blank. What is that movie we're going to talk about today?
2003's The Last Samurai.
All right, Last Samurai. Let's do it.
All right. The great war hero, Colonel Nathan Algren, is enticed to travel to Japan to trade the Japanese soldiers in their fight against the Japanese samurai. When Algren is captured by the samurai, when Algren is captured, he learns both about the samurai and himself in The Last Samurai.
Japan's got it in mind to become a civilized country. And Mr. Omura here is willing to spend what it takes to hire white experts to train their army. And if we play our cards right, the Emperor grants the U.S. exclusive rights to supply arms.
We'll have an agreement with the Winchester Company. I'm certain Mr. Omura here has some concept of what an agreement is.
Your performances for the Winchester Company bring you $25 a week. We will pay you $400 a month.
$5 for each. And another $500 when we get the job done. How many other genuine heroes you got lined up?
So I was reading on IMDb. Apparently, samurai is plural, so it's not singular like the Mohican or anything like that. So, The Last Samurai refers to the whole group of people. Apparently, this is not related to the novel by Helen DeWitt of the same name. Wikipedia was sure to point that out.
I'm not aware of the Helen DeWitt novel of the same name.
So this is directed by Edward Zwick. It makes it the third picture we've done by Edward Zwick, the most to the date director that we have talked about on our show, which is kind of interesting. Not on purpose, it's just something that happened.
We love you, Edward.
We do. It's written by John Logan and Marshall Hershowitz. Sorry about that. So the film is based on an original screenplay entitled The Last Samurai. It was a story by John Logan. The project itself was inspired by the writer and director Vincent Ward. Ward became executive producer on this film and working on the development of it for almost 4 years. And then they approached a bunch of different directors during the development. Francis Ford Coppola is one of them. Peter Weir, Picnic at Hanging Rock's own Peter Weir.
Yeah.
But eventually it landed with Edward Zwick, and he is the one who directed it. The film is not based on any kind of actual person's life story, but is based on some actual events that happened with Jules Burnett, who's a French army captain that fought in the Bushian War, and Frederick Townsend Ward, who's an American mercenary who helped westernize the Qing Army, forming the Ever Vicious Army. So not exactly pulled from the history books, but a lot of history that they kind of pulled in for this movie. It's a movie we've both seen, but it's your week. So what did you think about The Last Samurai before watching it again? And is this your third time watching it? And did you like it this time around?
This is my second time watching the film. Not my third time, strangely enough. Yeah, I've seen the film only one other time. I saw it when it came out in 2003. I did not see this at the theater, but I saw it on DVD at the time. I liked this film when I saw it back in 2003 or whatever, and I still like this film now. I do feel like the third act, or whatever you want to call it, where they go back and then they get ready to fight the Japanese army, is the weakest part of the film. And I actually don't really care that much for that part of the film, but there's so much of the rest of the film, because the movie's pretty long, it's 2.5 hours. There's so much that's in the rest of the film that I really, really do like. So overall, I think this is a pretty darn good movie. I'm just a little bit, I do feel like it loses some steam which is weird because you would think with all the battle and stuff, that's like the most exciting part of the movie. But I don't like that. I like that the least. But other than that, I think this is a really good movie.
I was going to say the exact same thing, that it loses some steam in that third act.
Yes.
For sure. I also like this movie a lot. This is the reason why I chose this movie. The pair with it is because I think it's a well done kind of version of this movie. I think this movie is gorgeous. Of the Edward Zwick movies that I've seen that I can recall, I think this one's the most beautiful of it. I think it has some very like picturesque scenery, and it's just gorgeous landscapes that they shot New Zealand for Japan that just looked gorgeous. This movie just looks so crisp and I just really unctuous. It looks unctuous like on the screen. I know that's a taste word, but I just feel with my eyes,
Yeah.
Yes. I think Tom Cruise does a really good job in this movie. I think he's, it's interesting that we kind of paired him with Daniel Day-Lewis in the fact that he's not really a method actor, but he does spend a lot of time learning skills for the movies that he's going to be in, right? So in the latest Mission Impossible movie, as we record this, he learned how to fly a helicopter. He learned how to hold his breath for 12 minutes. In this movie, he spent 2 years learning Japanese and learning how to fight with different samurai swords and different, in the Japanese kind of martial arts. So it's kind of interesting that we kind of have this kind of pairing between these two actors that kind of put a lot of time into and work into what would eventually be them being in these roles and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I mean Tom Cruise, I'm not going to try and compare his acting to Daniel Day-Lewis or anything like that, but Daniel Day-Lewis is a guy who's definitely, especially now, very kind of picky about the roles he does. And he retires, and then he comes out of retirement to do this, and then he retires again. I think I read somewhere that like Phantom Thread's like the last movie he wants to do, and who knows how long that's going to last. Tom Cruise, though, is definitely much more of a box office star. And I mean, that's what he is. He is he's a star. I mean, I don't care what you think about his personal life or, his religion or anything like that. I don't care about any of that stuff. But as far as the movies he makes, I think for the most part, most of them are entertaining. And I think this movie is no exception. I agree with you. This movie is beautiful to look at. And when he does go to that, when he's captured by the samurai and he does go back to live with him, that whole entire section of the movie where he's just kind of in this tranquil environment, this idyllic environment, spending time with them, getting to know their customs, learning their language. I love that part of the movie. And it's just really, really great. I kind of alluded to this on Monday. I do think the relationship that he has with Taka is strange. And I get, they're like, we need a love interest for this movie. Yeah. And so I feel like, that's it. But man, that's weird. Like,
does it have to be her husband?
He killed her husband. And he killed her husband and the little boy's father, but basically Ken Watanabe's character Katsumoto makes her take care of him, and he lives with him, and they have this weird sexual attraction kind of thing going on. They don't actually do anything. Really
I was gonna say it's still
so
kind of
innocent. At least they don't go
cross that line.
Yeah, they don't cross that line. But I find that part of the movie, that aspect of the movie, a little strange. I'm not saying I really dislike it or hate it or wish it wasn't there. It just is weird to me. It's just very
interesting.
But I mean, I think that's just because I'm like, man, I feel like if this person killed my spouse, I'd be like, hell no. Yeah. I ain't never making friends with you. But
and you don't get to wear the armor.
And you don't get to wear his armor.
Sacred armor.
Very strange.
I was gonna say, boy, is Tom Cruise lucky he's so short because he can fit in that armor.
But that's... Oh man, but that doesn't bring the movie down for me. I mean, I still think the movie's good. I think the thing, if anything, brings the movie down, and I still really like this movie all. It is that the last part. It is the battle, because I feel like it gets, at that point, it just gets very schmaltzy and heavy-handed, and you start to have these things, some dialogue in it and some acting in it that I feel like belongs in a movie, a completely different movie. I don't know what it is. But it feels a little bit divorced from the first 2/3.
I feel like it doesn't focus as much on the character. Like, it feels like it's trying to wrap things up because all of a sudden, like, you have the guy that brought Tom Cruise out, and you can tell there's a conflict of that they have between them.
You mean the Tony Goldwyn character?
Tony Goldwyn and Tom Cruise, right?
Yeah.
They kind of had a conflict, right? Mm-hmm. And then when he goes into the village, you lose all that, right? And then all of a sudden, like it's like the last act, it's like, oh wait, we gotta resolve this conflict between them, which just feels unnecessary, right?
Yeah, and the whole again, he's like, "I'll see you out on the battlefield," and of course, he's the one that throws like a samurai sword and like impales the guy. I just find that so. Again, it belongs in some kind of corny action movie to me, and some of the other things that happen on the battlefield belong. I think the battle itself is pretty well staged, but there's some aspects of it like that I groan and roll my eyes at. I'm not a fan of.
I agree, but I'm with you on the ending. I do think the battle is really good though. At the end, I think it's like
well done.
Like I got hints of Kagemusha. I don't know if it's quite Kagemusha level, but.
I was like, please don't have like 10 minutes of horses falling down and horses getting back up like a Kagemusha. Thankfully, they don't, but they do have, as you pointed out, the guy getting kicked in the balls by a horse.
Yeah, that does happen.
In one part.
Google that. That's fun.
Look that up on YouTube if you missed that part. Because I had forgotten. Somebody showed me that clip a long time ago, but I completely forgot about it until you showed it to me again. And I was like, oh yeah, that poor guy. Wow.
Ouch. So I've seen this movie a handful of times. On this viewing, a couple things that I noticed was I feel like Tom Cruise's alcohol addiction gets a little melodramatic. Like maybe it's like me with a Verdict where I'm like, I get it, let's move on. Like we don't need to wallow in it, but
don't ever watch The Days of Wine and Roses or The Lost Weekend. Movies about alcoholics. Because you'll be like, God, enough already. Yeah. Come on.
But with him like screaming sake, like in the
he's going through DT. He's detoxing.
He's detoxing.
Adam said that out loud.
Yeah.
He goes, he's detoxing.
He is. I mean, he is.
He is.
That's what happens when you're a severe alcoholic. He's got the shakes and sweats and everything. Yeah.
And the other thing
the
other thing that's really baffling to me, like I get why they do it, but for me it just almost kind of not ruined the movie, but it really like struck me really bad this time around was when Tom Cruise is leaving the village and he's gonna go tell Katsumoto what's going on, and those guys kind of surround him and he takes them out. And after he takes them out, he has a flashback right there of the fight we just saw, literally, and it's just like, I know the movie's trying to show that he doesn't really have PTSD anymore. Like he's okay with his role in life, and he's not going to be haunted by murdering these guys like he has been with all the stuff when he was a colonel in the army. But I'm like, I get what you're trying to do, but no, that should be excised from the movie. It does, to me, it doesn't add anything to the movie but length.
I was dying laughing during that part because I was like, what is this? Like, because I've forgotten about that. It's been a while since I've seen it. But then in my mind, I'm thinking that he was thinking to himself, he's replaying it in his mind right after he did it. And he's thinking, holy shit, that was awesome.
Holy shit, I'm a badass.
I'm a badass. Yeah. But no, it's a weird touch. It's a very strange touch because you literally see him cut these guys to pieces and then it's flashback kind of slow-mo him doing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right.
Edward Zwick's like, did you see what he just did? I'm going to show you what he just did.
He's like Chris Farley. And he's like, hey, remember when you did that thing? Remember when you cut those guys up? That was awesome. Yeah, that sort of thing. But I forgot about the part where like the freaking ninjas come.
That was so cool.
I totally forgot about that. But luckily, Tom Cruise remembered the 3 tenets, right? That ninjas are mammals, ninjas fight all the time, and the purpose of ninjas is to flip out and kill people. But somehow I don't think ninjas that Tom Cruise loves ninjas with all of his body, including his pee-pee. That's just me.
I don't know where that's from.
Ultimate power.
She gets it. This girl gets it. Yeah, real ultimate power. Those are the 3 things. Ninjas are mammals. Ninjas fight all the time, and the purpose of ninjas is to flip out and kill people. That's what real ultimate power taught us.
Right.
So Tom Cruise Nathan Algren remembers that in this movie, so he's prepared. He and Ken Watanabe are able to kick those ninjas' asses.
All right.
Send them packing. Sorry, I had to drop because I didn't do it when we did Ninja Scroll, and I was like, God, I missed the opportunity to talk about real ultimate power. So there it is. Thank you, real ultimate power. Okay.
I will say that
well played, sir.
I will say that of this movie, the standout for me is Ken Watanabe.
Oh, he's terrific.
He is amazing. This was his first English movie, and boy, did he come out swinging. I mean, he's been in some other movies since then. He's been in the Godzilla franchise. He's been in the Detective Pikachu movie. He was in Inception. He is
Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul.
The pseudo Ra's al Ghul.
Yep. I called that when I saw that trailer, that he didn't look anything like Ra's al Ghul, but Liam Neeson did.
Yeah.
And boy, was I right. Yeah, he is a great actor. I think he brings a whole lot to this movie. And he's just, I mean, for me, he makes the whole movie. Like, I just like, it hangs on him. And I really like this movie, and I like what he brings to this movie. Also, I like Hiroki, was it Sanada? Who plays, was it Ugio, who we've seen in a bunch of movies. He's a very skilled actor. He's a very skilled swordsman. And he's kind of like that face guy for Japanese warriors, I feel like, in English movies. We've seen him in Avengers Infinity War. We've seen him in Westworld.
Yes.
And he's also another person that when I see on the screen, I'm just like, I get so excited. I'm like, oh, what's he bringing? He's going to bring something really awesome to the screen. So I'm really glad that he came to this movie and we got to see him in this movie.
And he's going to be Scorpion in the next, the new Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh, is he really?
Yes.
Interesting. That makes me kind of want to see the next Mortal Kombat.
Oh, I'm definitely
a little bit more.
I'm definitely going to see it. For sure.
But yeah, I thought judging on what you said with The Last Mohicans, I thought you were going to be more down on this movie than you were.
No,
but
I like this movie.
But I think this is, like I said, the thing that I think that's going to outlast this whole movie is Ken Watanabe and how gorgeous the movie is. This feels like a movie you put on to show how awesome your TV is.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, my TV is cool. Look at this. Look at Last Samurai on my TV.
Yeah, it's a really good movie.
So where do the critics fall on this movie, or do you have anything else?
No, that's one thing I just want to mention is I'm not a huge history buff. I mean, I feel like I know a little bit about history, but I don't know anything about the history of Japan. So I find that's another aspect of this movie that I like, is that I think it gives a glimpse into part of the history of Japan that I think a lot of people are not really aware of. And after I watched the movie, I was reading some more about kind of what was going on in Japan at the time. Because obviously, they do a decent job in the movie of kind of explaining what's going on and how the emperor was kind of bringing European people and American people in to kind of help modernize the country. And that's why, the samurai are pissed, because they're basically doing away with their way of life, and that's why they're rebelling. But, I mean, I didn't know anything about it, so I did some more reading, some more light reading on it, but that's definitely something that I would like to be a little more, I guess, knowledgeable about. So This movie's making me read stuff, damn it.
Oh, man.
But that's a good thing.
Is that?
It is.
You're getting some wrinkles in your brain.
Yeah. But 66% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's fresh, but a little low maybe.
Yeah.
83% audience score. Roger Ebert gave it thumbs up, and Leonard Maltin, what do you know? 3 stars.
3-star Maltin.
3 stars again.
That's what we started calling him just 5 seconds ago.
All right. So in lieu kind of a viewer question, we right around the time this airs, I think in just a few days from now, we're going to have the announcements for the Oscars this year. And I know a lot of people are like, the Oscars don't mean anything. It's just some stupid award show. How can you really judge one actor against another actor? And the truth is you can't, but it's just one of these things. It's been around for a long time. It's kind of all about the pageantry or what. I mean, a lot of people think that winning an Oscar, well, I guess not a lot of people think. I think it's been proven, at least in the case of certain people, that you win an Oscar, you get the Oscar curse. So it's not always a good thing.
I don't think I've heard of the Oscar curse.
The Oscar curse, where you win an Oscar and after that your career kind of goes.
It's like a one-trick pony.
Yeah, it's not always true, but it's true for I think people give like Cuba Gooding Jr. as an example.
Wow.
No, seriously. I mean, because he won for Jerry Maguire, and then he was doing like Snow Dogs or whatever, like not too far after that, and the movie about the ice cream thing. What was it? I don't even remember. Rat Race he was doing. I don't know. He made some questionable choices after that, but he's not the only one. That's just one person from recent memory that was afflicted with the Oscar curse. Again, doesn't happen to everybody. But nevertheless, whether you hate the Oscars, whether you love the Oscars, I like the Oscars just because I've been watching it since I was a kid. So it's kind of tradition for me. I will agree. Okay, maybe they're meaningless, but it's just kind of fun to watch. I don't know, even if the telecast usually goes on for like 4 hours. But this year, I don't know, it's all going to be like virtual or what. So who knows how long it's going to be. But anyway,
It's virtual, so it's going to be all night.
it might be
8 hours.
It might be. I don't know. We'll see. But
Hashtag Oscar so long.
we thought we would just kind of take a look at, like, on our phones here, because we didn't really make notes, just kind of look at a list of kind of what is getting Oscar buzz, just kind of talk about maybe the things we've seen, what we want to see get nominated, what we think is going to get nominated, just a hodgepodge of Oscar stuff. So let's
I think
get
we have
into
the
it.
same list. So
We
the
probably do, yeah.
first thing is Trial of Chicago 7.
Which I have not seen. I am going to make a serious effort to watch that before we shoot our next episodes. So I can comment on it.
Yeah, so Annie's got to be the tiebreaker because I don't like it. Kirby likes it.
Okay.
So you're going to be the deciding factor.
I'll be the deciding
I don't.
factor.
I don't think it's a great movie. Honestly.
Yeah.
No Man Land. I've heard a lot of good things about. Chloe Zhao's movie. She did a movie called I want to say it's called The Rider. That was really well regarded. I haven't seen any of her movies, but I'm kind of interested, and I hear. Frances McDermott does a great job in this movie.
Yeah, she's probably going to get nominated for Best Actress. Did she win for Three Billboards?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. Yeah. So, and she won for Fargo, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So she's a 2-time winner. So
uncursed.
She's had she did not, I don't think, get afflicted with the Oscar curse, but I don't know if she's going to win. Sometimes they're like, okay, you've got enough of these. But sometimes they're like, no, here, have another one. So you never know.
Next on the list, I think you skipped it, was
I did, because I don't know anything about it.
Minari, I hear great things about. So Minari follows like a Korean family as they move to Arkansas to actually raise food and stuff like that. I hear great things about this movie. Actually, I don't think this movie's on streaming yet, which is the reason why. As of recording, we haven't seen it, but that's high on my list to watch. I hear really great things about it. I hear Steven Yeun does an amazing job, so I'm actually looking forward to Minari.
I think that's the problem with a lot of these that we're going to see on this list is if they're not streaming, because neither you nor I are going to the theaters at this point.
Yep.
If they're not streaming, and even if they are streaming, in the case of Trial of Chicago 7, I haven't gotten around to watching it. So, yeah, that's a problem. Promising Young Woman. I'm kind of skipping around.
No, I look. This looks interesting. I was tempted.
Promising.
Looks promising. I was tempted to rent it. I hear good buzz on this. What have you heard? Anything?
I've heard some good things. I've heard some people calling out Carey Mulligan for certain things, and Carey Mulligan in turn calling them out. But I think Carey Mulligan, from what I understand, has a strong performance in the movie, so I wouldn't be surprised if she got nominated for Best Actress. Judas and the Black Messiah, I think, as we're filming this, is about to come out streaming. So that's definitely one that I will be checking out when it does.
I want to see Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I hear it's good, but also because it's Chadwick Boseman's last performance.
Yeah.
And I hear he does a great job in this movie, and that there's going to be some Oscar buzz around his performance. It might be a posthumous. Posthumous. That's the word. Yeah.
And also, I think Viola Davis is getting some good buzz for the same movie.
She's a heavy hitter. She's a really good actress.
She's always in the mix. The Five Bloods, which is I still haven't seen either.
I thought you watched it and didn't like it.
I have not watched it. No.
Yeah, I heard great things about this. I hear Delroy Lindo is a standout on this movie. Again, we also have
Chadwick
Boseman acting in it. But I hear Delroy Lindo is great. And as we said with the Cider House Rules, we love ourselves some Delroy Lindo.
Yep.
So I'm actually I need to watch this. I need to just do it because I have no excuses.
I didn't like Sahara, but Delroy Lindo was in it, and that was cool.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, you remember that part you remember that movie that time when Delroy Lindo was in Sahara? That was awesome. All right.
How do you feel about this one?
Mank. I liked Mank. I think I liked it more than you. So, but I think Mank is going to get a Best Picture nod. I think it's going to get a Best Screenplay nod. It's Jack Fincher's one and only screenplay, right?
Yeah, I think
I think that's. I think Gary Oldman is a shoe-in for a nomination for playing Mank. And then aside from, I think those three are certainties.
I think the Lily
Collins,
Yes.
his
I
secretary,
think she'll
basically.
get nominated.
You think?
What about Amanda Seyfried?
I think Amanda Seyfried has a chance, and I think Charles Dance has a chance. Charles Dance has a chance. I'm rhyming and stealing.
I am all for Charles Dance.
I think he has a chance as Hearst. I think he has a good chance. So it's possible. Best supporting.
I'm here for it.
Is any movie directed by David Fincher a sure win for Best Picture nom?
No. I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't think Mank will win. To be honest,
with you.
I think it'll get
Absolutely
nominated. I don't think it will.
I mean, to be nominated. I feel like
I think this is exactly the. I would be shocked if this didn't get nominated for Best Picture because this is exactly the type of movie that they reward.
Could this be the kind of like thing where almost the black and white movie about
The Artist?
Yes.
The Artist, yeah.
Could this be an artist? Because it's wildly different than anything else in the that's come out this year.
Did Roma win when it came out? There's two questions.
No.
in
It won Best Foreign Film, I believe. Roma.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was one of the In addition, it was like before Parasite got nominated like for both foreign and Best Picture, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
But could it? Does the uniqueness help its chances to win Best Picture?
I think that's about
no.
Hollywood is the reason why it's going to get nominated.
I think The Artist, that was an anomaly, but I really don't think Mank is going to win. But I could be wrong. And I've been wrong plenty. So you never know.
All right.
Documentaries, Boy State.
Yeah, we both like Boy State that
Yep.
we watched. It's probably gonna be pretty good.
I haven't seen it. Are there any other documentaries that have come out this year that have gotten a lot of buzz?
Yes.
We'll have Kirby look at that. So
While
what's the
you're
next
looking at-
one?
I haven't seen Sound of Metal. I know you have.
So Kirby liked Sound of Metal a whole lot. I like Sound of Metal. I wasn't wowed by it, but
I was.
I wish I saw this in theaters versus home. I think the home viewing kind of not tainted it, but just wasn't as enthralling as if I saw it in theaters. But yeah,
I feel like there was not another movie. It felt like completely unique.
Yeah.
Like I could not recall even a movie where someone overcomes stuff. I mean, I was like, this movie's completely.
Yeah.
I'd never seen anything like it.
I think Paul Raci should get a supporting actor nom, and Riz Ahmed might get leading actor. But if Paul Raci doesn't get a nom, he should. It'd be a crime for him not to get a nom for sure.
So other documentaries that have gotten a lot of buzz. My Octopus Teacher.
Which I want to watch. Kirby won't watch.
Nope. Octopuses are weird. Painter and the Thief.
Which I watched. I wasn't into that, but I hear everyone else likes it.
Dick Johnson is Dead, which I also will not watch.
Yeah, I watched the first 10 minutes of that movie. I need to finish it.
76 Days. I have no clue what that's about. So yeah.
Yeah, Dick Johnson Dead's a documentary about this lady who is a cinematographer, and she basically has her dad reenact different gruesome deaths because she's trying to learn to be okay with the fact that her father's not going to be always around and stuff like that. It sounds a little morbid, and then I think through the documentary they find out that he has Alzheimer's, I believe.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was why she was making it.
Maybe that's why she's making it.
Womp womp.
Again, I've only seen the first 10 minutes, so I could be missing part of it.
Based on the first 10 minutes, you didn't get that. All right, where are we at? Soul
Man.
So we talked about this. We talked about this a little bit before. I think I don't know how many Best Picture nominees they're going to have. If we're going by the last few years, it's going to be between the neighborhood of 8 and 10, to 10, something like that. Which I think is too many. Just do 5,
Hashtag
like you used to do. But I mean, it might get nominated for Best Picture, but as long as they've still got a Best Animated Picture, I think Soul is probably a shoo-in for that, unless something surprises us. I know we talked about Wolfwalkers, Onward, but I think Soul is going to beat Onward. It's going to beat its Pixar.
You don't think the new Croods movie that came out that's been in box office, it's been playing in theaters since Thanksgiving?
It might. I mean, Croods, just by virtue of there's a small pool to choose from, Croods might get nominated, but I think Soul's probably going to win. It could be something like Wolfwalkers, because I know that's gotten a lot of acclaim, but I just don't see that beating a Pixar movie, personally.
Yeah.
I think Pixar's king.
I hear great things about First Cow. Haven't seen it.
First Cow.
I don't know if it's out on streaming yet, but I hear really good things about First Cow.
I don't know why that title makes me laugh, but it does.
I want to see another round.
I do
with
too.
Mads Mikkelsen. I hear this movie just looks fun, but I have a feeling it's not going to be fun.
Yeah, well, you don't like movies where people are drinking a lot, and that's the whole movie. I think
It is. It's a movie about drinking.
Yeah, so I don't know if you'll like that. Let's just go pass On the Rocks.
Yeah. I was going to ask.
I'm going to fall asleep again. I think On the Rocks is mentioned because I think people are talking about Bill Murray might get a nomination. Nominate him for a movie that's better than that. Is it? Oh, no. Snooze fest. All right, Hillbilly Elegy. Is that where we are?
Yeah, I saw it on Netflix. I skipped it.
Yeah, I can't bring myself to watch it. It just looks. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm judging a book by its cover, but I can't look at Glenn Close without cracking up. I can't. I don't. Yeah.
Is that her?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's her.
The whole movie. I mean,
I can't.
It seemed like a high school production.
Yeah.
Something I don't want to watch.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
Next.
So I think the last thing.
Yeah, the last one on this list, and I guess we can probably end it with this one. That's a movie that you really like. I liked it too.
Yeah, it was my favorite movie of last year.
Favorite movie of last year, Palm Springs.
Palm Springs. I don't think it's going to get nominated for anything because it's a comedy, and I feel like comedies don't get valued. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, has actors in comedies get?
There's always a one. There's like a one that gets thrown in there.
What?
A one. There's a one. I
So,
do think it'll get actor. I mean, how's the girl in it? Is she good?
I think she's pretty good.
Yeah, I personally don't think it's going to get any acting nominations. I think it has a small chance because of the fact that there's so many Best Picture nominees to squeak in there, but it has no chance of winning.
What about
I think.
Screenplay? Is it?
Maybe.
No, I think no.
I mean, I don't think it'll win, but it might get a nomination.
I mean, I'm basing things on like historical, like what I think of historically, but this year's so different. I mean, friggin', monkeys might fall out of the clouds. I mean, you who knows?
They don't.
I mean, yeah, well, they might. They might this year. I mean, it's just been such a wacky year, and that we've got everything is streaming and everything. I mean, you never know. This may be the year that everything is just upended and it's all just complete chaos. And Palm Springs and Eurovision wins Best Picture, or Will Ferrell wins Best Actor. I mean, you never know. With a year like we've just had, it's so zany and crazy. Who knows? It might be something odd. But if I'm basing things off of what typically occurs, I don't think Palm Springs has much of a chance at anything, honestly. And which is a shame because it is a good movie. It's very funny.
Kirby won't watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't have any interest in watching it, but I do think it's a sleeper. I think it'll be like.
And I'd be happy.
Gosh,
I'd be happy to be
Andy Samberg
wrong.
got
I'd be happy to be
nominated for a
wrong.
freaking Oscar.
Yeah.
No.
I think it'll be like when Jonah Hill got nominated for Moneyball. People are gonna be like, this guy.
Yeah, but he was in a serious movie.
It was more
but
dramatic.
But I think it was.
And it was
kind of
also
the same.
Edward Zwick movie. Written.
Okay, fine. Just whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of drama in Palm Springs, but I just don't know. I will be shocked, but I'll be pleasantly shocked if it gets nominated for any kind of acting awards or really Best Picture. But
You heard it here first. All
I
right.
mean, don't listen to me.
All right. Final thing on the Oscars.
I'm gonna watch like I do every year, and yeah, I mean. I usually I print out a little list and I make my little predictions, and I mean I'm usually I get more than 50%, but I mean so does everybody, because everybody kind of looks at the list and they look at like the people that are favored, and a lot of times that's who wins. I mean, Parasite. I was shocked that Parasite won both because it won foreign and Best Picture,
director.
which was usually that never happens. It's going to win Best Foreign and it's not going to win Best Picture, or vice versa. But I was like, there's no way. Once it won Best Foreign Language Film, I was like, there's no way it's going to win Best Picture, and then it did. So I was pleasantly shocked because I love that film, but.
Yep.
That doesn't happen very often, so I would be surprised if something as shocking as that happens this year. If that was shocking, it may not have been shocking to some people.
Final Oscar.
I mean, I've seen like 5%. So I just know that Palm Springs is going to get nominated.
There you go.
Even though I hadn't seen it.
Palm Springs.
And I just wait till the next morning and read who won. I don't fall.
Boo.
But send us your Oscar predictions. Maybe we're right. Maybe we're wrong. We don't know. Maybe you know. Maybe you're on the committee and you're voting.
Is Invisible Man getting snubbed?
Yeah, Elizabeth Moss. Maybe.
Maybe.
Let us know if you're watching on YouTube. Leave a comment below, or you can shoot us an email, realshame@gmail.com. On these Wednesday episodes, if we don't do a fun little new different segment, we answer viewers' questions that are sent to us, realshame@gmail.com. You can do that there, or leave a comment if you're watching us on YouTube. I've said that too many times. We're on social media at Real Shame on Instagram. Like, subscribe, share the show. We appreciate it. It does help spread the news and the word of the show, and it's awesome of you to do so. You get 2 thumbs up for doing that. And stay tuned next week as we cross a movie off my list of shame. And we'll see you soon, guys.